All right, so 2-point perspective, round 2. We are going to create letters. Okay, so this is going to go over curves, what to do with them because they are seriously different, and what to do if you want to design your name on your piece of paper in 2-point perspective. So we still have all of our materials, straight edge or ruler, pencil, and eraser. So for my letters, I'm going to do my vanishing point at the bottom this time. We saw the vanishing point at the top. Now we're going to do it at the bottom. Alright, so my vanishing points are going to be right here. Anywhere you want them. Alright, so in order to actually do a 2-point perspective with words, you can't just draw your letters. Okay? You can't just draw your letters. Apologies for the dogs. The UPS man is here. La-di-la. Okay, words. Don't just draw your letters. No. No. Step 1. Straight edge. You're going to draw your vanishing point. And you're going to draw the area where your letters are going to fall within. Okay? So your letters are going to go within these 2 lines. They will never go out. Okay. So that is the use of 1 point. The backs of the letters are going to be, or the letters like going into the distance is what we use for the second one. So we'll get to that. First one, draw your orthogonals. Okay. And then you can start designing your name. So you can start doing your bubble letters. And this is practice, so honestly, it's okay if it's not perfect. I'm not really into that G, but we're going to go with it. Alright, now your letters can go within. It can go all the way up to the top of it in the bottom, or it can be somewhere in between. It really doesn't matter. Just as long as they do not go outside of that limit, top to bottom. And then your letters, of course, get smaller as you go down. That's the 1-point perspective talking. 2-point perspective will be then streaming back to this. Okay, so there's my letters. And, we're just practicing because it's okay. Now, the tricky part. Curves are tricky. Points, those are easy, we have the points that go back, if you can remember, okay? All these points, on and on and on. The curves, okay, listen. The curves are different. You can't just point it and draw wherever you want on the middle of the letter. Watch. Just watch. Do what I do, okay? Don't get messed up. Just breathe. Vanishing point. Now we're working with the second one because we're taking our letters back. With a curve, you pivot from the vanishing point, okay? Pivot. When you hit the letter, you stop. Any part of this letter. Okay, vanishing point, pivot to the letter, and stop. That's where you draw your line. So we're going to draw a line to the vanishing point on that. Okay? That's what you do for each of them. Okay. So we don't want to go through our letters because they're solid. So, oh, I hit a line. I hit a little mark. So I'm going to go right here, but don't go through any other lines. Stop when you hit a line. All right, going, 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 going. There's a teeny little bit of a distinction here. Stop at the line. And then I hit another point. Draw that there. And then I hit this point, but it goes through the letter, so I don't want to do that one. The very top of the G gets a line. And there's one more, okay? There's a little bit left of the G, so I have to keep going until the end. Very, very edge, okay? All the curves go until the edge. All right, so closing off the letter. How long it? So you have to mimic. This is another important thing. Don't just cut it off like this. No, no. Mimic this line going down a little bit further within these two areas. Okay, and then this. This is a curve, so you have to do a curve here as well. And going to disappear right here. I always have to draw that more than once. It's not perfect, but it'll do for practice, okay? We don't see this, okay, so this to this, we want to mimic that here to here, okay? And then the bottom of this curve, it's a curve too. And then you can detail your letter, making all those lines bold. Okay. There's my 3D G. Let's erase all the extra stuff. Okay. Ta-da! It's not great, but it works. All of these are mimicked for the top lines. At their angles, they have to mimic what they're changing with. Okay? So the R, and I'm going to do the rest of them really quickly on speed round. So I'm really going slow, but you're going to see it going fast. Ready, set, go. Okay, so for the curves of this E, I am mimicking the curve of the E at the top to cut it off in the back. So don't forget that. So you're seeing me connecting all the corners and the edges of the curve, not the middle of the curve. Please make sure you don't do the middle of the curve, the edges, and then mimic that front curve, cutting it off at the back. And of course, erasing all your extra lines as you go. And then I'm going back and editing and making the backs of my letters on the inside of that E kind of show up. So you're seeing the inside of the E cut off from the back. The back of that N is a little tricky, and the inside of the back of the N, really notice what I'm doing there. A teeny tiny line cutting off the back of that second part of the N. Oh, and quick tidbit for all your letters or anything you're drawing, if your line comes to another line or another object, definitely just go ahead and stop right there. Don't go through it. Otherwise, you're going to be going through something solid that shouldn't be gone through. Okay, so there you have 2-point perspective with letters going back into space. We have the big letters going to the tiny E, going in 1 point, and then the backs of the letters going to the second point. So they go back into space, getting smaller. See y'all in the next video.